guys, Ep.42 here, and welcome back to another episode of Katawa Shoujo. Last time we left off, we were with Misha and Suzune. We just arrived in the student council room to play some Risk against them both. Of course, this is not to actually join the student council, just for funsies, but I'm sure they're going to try and pull some tricks on us, of course. Looks like that's in their book, and we're going to see if we can beat them in Risk. So, let's see what happens from here. Yeah, that's right. Jeez. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Ki-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Haha. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while I try— damn, that music. Music, I like mad crazy for us for a second there. Halfway through the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Suzune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. My nose get itchy. Ki-chan, Shi-chan wants you to know that you are taking too long to make a move. Shi-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. See, I knew they're gonna pull some crap. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. That was my actual laughter. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Magnanimous? She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Suzune, who in return signs it back to her. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples, as if trying to physically imprint the words into her mind. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Wait, please slow down, Shi-chan. Shi-chan says you're going to lose. Till I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Her face. Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. Alright, so we have two choices here. It's a trap. It's smarter to play defensively here. She has a point. Attack aggressively. Well, I feel like she's probably lying to us. We're gonna attack aggressively! She's either really mocking me or trying to trick me. Nothing else to lose, though, so I might as well try something different. Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I could recoup the advantage. Shizune seems to be so focused on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. That does not seem like a good idea. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. Well, damn. Suzune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. I win, yay! There's no need to translate that, it was pretty clear. Wah! Don't look so sad, Chan. You're really giving it your best. That's what I thought. Sometimes, your best just isn't good enough, though. If anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. Shi-chan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. It's a very daring move, Shi-chan is impressed. The mark of great people is that they are daring, and that they can follow through. They're already halfway there, isn't that great, Chan? Isn't enough, though. Just potential isn't enough. There is no point to potential if you don't take the first step, and there is no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. You're right, Shi-chan, but that's so demanding. Shi-chan leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful and more like the serious person I expect her to be from the start. Ki-chan, would you like to join the student council? She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. But spending time with Shizune and Misha doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe. I'll get back to you on it. Okay, Hee-chan, but I hope you're not just saying that so we don't feel bad. No, really. Really? Hee-chan, if you're going to say that, you're saying that is a definite truth, and there can't be any mistaking it. I don't know, that sentence is really hard for me to spit out for some reason. I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Hee-chan smiled at that in a mischief way that feels like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. I took a glance at the clock on the wall and realized I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Hee-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. You can't miss it. Don't want us to show you where it is? No thanks, it's okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. One flight of stairs up, and I run into problems. Second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to. But then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter, and I don't know how to pronounce that word, and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though. Just barely ajar so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though is much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. And it's Lilly! Another girl that we will be learning about. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure, taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes. Doesn't look at me. Hello there? May I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's a soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly whatever. Hi, sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. It takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku. Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lilly Sato. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there. Her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty fingers to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's only one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Suzune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lilly herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. People be sneezing in the hallways. Jesus. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library, Shizune and me, I mean some classmates, told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it's being stirred. Aware of Miss Hakamichi as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Matao. Jesus Christ, the names are killing me. She gives a small giggle before settling down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. Wow, look at that art. I look so... I don't know if I'm happy or, like, confused or... I don't know. His whole expression is interesting. He looks happy, though. Like, I mean, he's got the little smirk going. I don't know. We'll see. As she settles down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person. Same. But this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Tatao. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lilly, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really doesn't seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. So sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the fox pass. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure, sorry. I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change. So, yeah, now I'm definitely upset. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems, all too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I surge into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have at lunch. To have lunch at. English is hard, like I've said many times before. I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lilly seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the baseball club, and the book club in the room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? Words are hard. English is hard. It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good. That's a relief. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. And now it's dark out. Or it's getting dark, sunset. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh, time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, Hisao, I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. Ah, no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lilly seems likely to know in any case. True. It's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking to you, with you, Lilly. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? I could possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it, alright? Well, unless my navigation skills fail me again, which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I can introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that has been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the jester, taking the lead as we file in. Welcome to the library. To the left is the wooden library encounter, with the library proper being on the right. English. It easily dwarves my old school's library, with the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here, considering the time. It isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Oof. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Ah! Probably just smacked her head. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi, Lily. How can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser into my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry. I couldn't know. It's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apology, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit a library perfectly. God damn, I can't read this episode. Oh my god. Lily, did you get my message? Message. Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived. Right. They finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but I missed her celebrations, particularly for managing to change the topic, I'm sure. She notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. God damn it. Hisao, right, Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget it. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library? Lily's innocence suggests it is meant... Gosh. Reading! Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How it's any responsibility at all, I don't get, but her objection is so sincere I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But So there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my mind, into my head. It seems to work at least particularly, as Yuko seems to, not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense given all the blind students that'd be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more time on the new books than on my salary, then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome and they waste so much. I wish I could quit this job. A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well, meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you. Okay, and we're gonna end off here. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Katawa Shoujo. We met the librarian, and we actually got introduced with Lilly. So yeah, so after we meet every character in the game, that we are allowed to, you know, go in story with, I will tell you guys who I'm going after. So be prepared for that. Because it's, like I've said, I've beaten this game with 3 of the characters in this game, and I don't want to tell you guys right away because it's kind of like a turnoff, and it's kind of like, oh, well. So I'd rather surprise you guys with who I'm picking once we meet everybody and have done everything we need to do. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Katawa Shoujo. If you haven't liked the video already, make sure to do that, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that as well. And yeah, that's it for me. This is Crazy Much 42, and I will see you all in the next video.